perspective on this. Let me quickly draw in former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Prithviraj Chavan as well. Prithviraj Chavan ji, very sad news has come in regarding, the former Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. He's breathed his last at AIIMS, Delhi. Your first thoughts, sir, to this tragic news?
Well, it's a great personal tragedy for me because I had worked with him in his government, in his ministry as a Minister for State for Prime Minister's office from 2004 to 2010 when I had to come to Bombay. So those 6 years were one of the most precious years of my life. I learned a lot with him. We carried through many crises together. We legislated laws like the right to information, right to food, right to work, Manrega, the lands for the Adivasis, right to education, landmark legislation. We turned the country around. In 2008 financial crisis, we did not let the country suffer. But most important achievement, I think, was the Indo-US nuclear deal, which really turned the nation's foreign policy 180 degrees, just as he had turned the nation's economic policy 180 degrees in 1991 crisis. It's a great loss to the nation. It's a personal loss to me. I had worked very closely with him as a Minister of State in his ministry. When I had to leave for Bombay in November 10, he just asked me, who will take your place now? And so we had to quickly put together some arrangement because I had to go to Mumbai to become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra in November 2010. But those 6 years that I worked with him will remain indelible in my life. I'll never forget those memories.
Just tell us about, a couple of personal memories then of seeing him function since you were in his Union Council of Ministers, seeing him function as PM. Any personal anecdotes that you have, that you've observed?
Many. Actually, the UPA 1 government was formed with Mrs. Gandhi as the party president and Dr. Manmohan Singh as the head of the government. And both of them worked very closely, respecting each other, not violating the protocol, not hurting anybody. And it was a very delicate relationship, I think, which both of them handled beautifully well. And I was right in the middle of it because I was, on one hand, the Minister of State for Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, and on the other hand, I was the General Secretary of the party to Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. So I was a go-between. Whenever there are tensions, whenever there are disagreements, they have to be peppered over. And I think in 6 years that I was in the Prime Minister's office in Delhi, I think we had a very smooth sailing. We handled many crises together. Particularly what will remain in my mind is the famous Indo-US nuclear deal, which Dr. Manmohan Singh was the primary architect of it.
Yes, and the way that vote was won.
Yeah, the vote was won with great difficulty. There are many inside stories of that whole episode, but I think that will sort of remain another day. But not only his tenure as a Prime Minister, but he'll be equally credited with turning the economy around in 1991 as the Finance Minister to Dr. Narasimha Rao. So those days I was a newly elected MP and I saw the economic reforms unfold right in front of my eyes in the Parliament. Those 5 years and the 6 years later as a Prime Minister, I've seen very closely work closely together in the best interest of the nation.
Yes.
Always putting the nation first and self at the last.
Yes.
Completely selfless man not given to any publicity, nothing.
And that's how the nation should remember him. Thank you very much, Prithviraj Chavan, former Maharashtra Chief Minister, joining us there. And also, of course, as you said, you were Minister of State in Dr. Manmohan Singh's government.